Hey guys, and welcome back to the channel. Hey, real quick, the Daytona Speedway laps we did in the Jeeps. I had 4 cameras going. I had trouble with 3 of them. The video from it. The fourth one was the Sony that my wife held. It actually did very well. I think a lot of it still was user error on my part or setup error. So I don't want to throw rocks at GoPro, but me and cameras, man. But I'm editing it and I'm really close to it. Today's video. Matt the Greeter had done a video on Can-Am Spyders yesterday, and in that he mentioned the fact that he and I had talked about, wow, what it would be like if they had a V-twin. And so I commented yesterday on his video and said, that's a great idea for a video. So here we are. And this is going to be quick. There's not a whole lot of real competition out there. I'm not going to talk about the Polaris slingshots or the Vanderhaals or the Morgans. Those are more like cars to me. They have a steering wheel and you sit side by side. They have a gas pedal. We're talking about motorcycles. You sit over it like the Can-Am and a regular motorcycle. You have a handlebars. You have a twisted throttle. So Harley had come up with one actually in 2012 and 13, not 2000, 1912 and 1913, the reverse cargo trike, which was interesting. I just wanted to show you guys that, in research, you can find reverse trikes all the way back to the 17th century. And I saw a couple pictures, but it really didn't have a whole lot of information on it. That was not Harley's, by the way. But in 1998, Harley hired John Batera and to develop a leaning trike, reverse trike. And so this is the first one he did. They actually got patents for it in 2006. And it says filed in 2006 or 2007. And he had created this one. It was called the Penster, Penster. I think it's very cool. So between 1998 and 2006, he developed this one, and then they actually developed a ready for production model. And it was ready to go. It was production ready, and this is it. It was orange. And then they pulled the plug on it. I've never really found a good explanation on why they pulled the plug. Everything I'd read before was it handled amazingly and it was such an awesome machine. But they decided to go with the Tri-Glide instead. But in 2008, they almost brought it back because they did have a little bit of concern with the Can-Am Spyders that were coming out. That was the newest, hottest, never seen anything like it, trike at the time. And Harley did consider bringing that Penster out. What would the world be like if they had? Man, I probably would have one of them. I do love my Can-Ams, so not throwing rocks at your Can-Ams, but the possibility of having a V-twin reverse trike, I'd love to have that. So the next one I'm going to bring up is, and I wonder if they didn't get this whole idea from Harley's patent, is the tilting motor works. It looks a lot like the Harley patent, the patent that Harley had on theirs. And I think they could probably get by with this because it's a kit. They don't build a motorcycle, another brand or anything. They take a Harley, they take an Indian, they take a Gullwing, and they put this kit on it. And man, I've seen these at a few of the rallies, but I've never had the opportunity to ride one. But I would be all over it if I had a chance to ride one of these things. I just think it would be so cool. And so the next one, now let me know your thoughts on that one, by the way. The next one I want to bring up, and this is really kind of the third and final. There's a lot of kits out there. This is not a V-twin, but it's still interesting, and I would love to ride one, and that is this Yamaha Nikon. It's more of a sport. I don't know if I want to say sport touring. I don't know what to call it. It is more of a sport bike. From everything I'd read about it, they say that it's heavier than your average two-wheel motorcycle, but it's typically faster, and it can lean up to 45 degrees, and it steers much more sharply around a corner at a much higher speed than a regular motorcycle. So, would you ride one of those? I'd like to know your thoughts on it. I would ride it. I do think it's pretty darn ugly. You know, on Yamaha's website, they still advertise it as a 2019. I think maybe due to COVID, they maybe they stopped production of it. I did read some articles that said they had stopped importing it to North America, but they're still building them as 2019 models. I read some other articles saying you could buy them, and on Yamaha's website, you can click there and contact a dealer about one. So I'm guessing maybe you can still buy it. I have found some articles that said discontinued, but I found more that said it wasn't discontinued. So I guess the jury's out on it. It's still on Yamaha's website. So let me know your thoughts, guys. What would you ride a V-twin Reverse-Trike? Would you like a Tilting Motorworks model? Would you ride the Nikon? What do you think of the Nikon? I'm really interested in that, and you know, I'm gonna look around. I may get an opportunity to ride one of those, and I would definitely film it. Either of those two, the Tilting or the Nikon, I'd love to ride. Well, thanks for joining me on this short video. Let me know your thoughts. Subscribe, like, and see you real soon.